Background music and ambience brought to you in part by Midnight Syndicate. Music for the imagination and the perfect musical accompaniment for the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
In a world that is not what it seems, and where people are not who they appear to be, where puns run rampant through the streets, and it's hard to tell who the real monsters are. Three heroes fight to keep the world of Euphrae from ripping apart, and to keep Tim and Terry from getting even more screwed. Now, let's join the Sir Thadeus Trebilcock, the wild magic sorcerer, Malphaedor, the fallen Aasimar Oathbreaker, and the half-satyr, half-halfling bard, McNastly, as they band together in their enduring pursuit of a fool's quest.
So,
When last we left our heroes,
yep. Where you guys last left off, Sir Thadeus, you had teleported away to the collective, and that's it so far. That's all anybody knows. Actually, they don't even know you teleported away.
Yeah.
You just disappeared. That's all they know.
Yeah.
They know you disappeared.
Did we see the angel?
No. Time stopped.
Oh,
Yeah. For everybody.
Apparently,
everyone
that's
but
an
me.
angel power. Weird.
so as far as we know, Thaddeus was obliterated in that fiasco.
Yeah.
They killed Thaddeus.
You bastards.
I'm not that upset about it.
You bastards!
And
You guys always have such a wonderful love-hate relationship.
Huh?
Thor-
Okay, it's fine.
Thorkillin grabs up the... He uses magic to grab up the body of the dragon. And he brings it into a portal with him. And he motions for Malphaedor and McNastly to follow him through the portal.
Oh, we do. Sorry.
Yes.
So,
I didn't know that wasn't a given. I didn't know there's other options.
Yeah, I thought we already said
yeah,
we were
I
going.
followed.
all right, cool.
Because I was following right behind him, and I had to motion back to McNastly. So you coming?
So he takes you to a landmass in the center of... the landmass itself is probably 400 yards, right? Risen stone, but it's like flat. So it's like this stone carving lifted, like a stage almost, out of the ground. And all around you, there is lava burning. And to the south of you, you can tell by the sunlight, to the south of you, there are mountains, tall, huge mountains, ones you've never seen before. You don't recognize these mountains. You've never been here. New view. But you can tell from the planet, the moons, the sky, you guys are still in Euphrae. So you're just in a part of Euphrae you've never been to before. To the north of you, you can see some raised grasslands and some... what's it called when the grass just drops and falls like a cliff? But what's it called?
A field?
Well, you've got like grass, you know, in jungles and stuff where they're like running, and then all of a sudden the land just drops. It just stops being land and falls down into.
I think it's just a cliff.
All right, cliff.
Plateau.
Cliffs.
Well, the plateau's the top.
Yeah. So it's like a cliff edge that goes the entire span of this grassy land area. So you can see like like thick woods and stuff like that, but that's miles away from you. And then off to the east, you can see very billowy, snowy areas. So you're kind of surrounded by this just magical area with multiple seasons all around you. And Thorkillin brings the body of the dragon, and he slowly levitates it out over the lava, and he begins to let it descend into the lava in front of you. The body eventually touches the lava and quickly gets encompassed by the liquid, or by the magma, and it begins to disappear. Thorkillin says a prayer in a language that you guys have never heard before. And then he finishes, takes a moment for himself, quick moment of silence, and then he turns back to you and says, you are one of the few people in the history of, or you are two of the few people in the history of Euphrey ever to have witnessed the burial of one of the first people. There are so few of us left. It's a privilege and a tragedy all at once. In the spirit of this intimate moment, I'm willing to answer any questions that you might have about me or my people.
Oh, where do we begin?
My first question would be, where are we?
We are in the House of Embers in Lake Paloa. It's near the Furian Mountains.
Oh.
It's far, far away from Cheddar. It's the southeast side of... Actually, no, I mean, it's a round planet, so...
South side!
Yeah.
So if you show me your map, I can pinpoint.
It's very far away from where you are, but...
I have some questions of the first people. Who are the first people?
The first people are from the godless realm. In our world, we reigned there for a long time. We were called wizards and witches, and there are magical entities, fae people. Eventually, the world got too carried away with itself. Humans of that world became destructive and murderous, and they would kill anything that didn't fit their ideal. So we left. We came to Euphrey, and we created this world with our friends, our fae friends, our other wizards and witches and warlocks and so on. When we came here, we struck up a deal with Greyhawk, who walked this world at that point, and we were allowed to become other races, transform, and obviously the perks of eternal life. But yeah, so we came here and we started a world.
How many of you are left?
I would probably say 24.
I've heard another phrase uttered when speaking of the first people. What can you tell me about the death of the old gods?
The death of the old gods isn't really their death. It is the separation from this world and their realms. When we first came here, all 13 realms touched, and the gods could come and go as they pleased. And there was a war broke out between the Nine Hells and the Outlands, or the Dreamlands. And that war created a space. I mean, it fostered the realm of, or the Age of Giants here, right? So to defend Euphrey, everything here became giant. The creatures, the humans, the peoples, everyone was a giant here. But the war raged on until finally Greyhawk took it upon himself to sever the ties between the realms. And so the gods were no longer allowed to come here. There was one exception to this rule, and it was one god that he allowed to come here and check on it. In order to maintain this restriction where the other gods couldn't come here, Greyhawk also had to leave, or separate himself from Euphrey. So the death of the old gods just simply means that they disappeared. They didn't exist anymore in this realm. But it wasn't a godless realm or a magicless realm. Like the touch of the gods is still here. Their agents are still here, right? So a paladin can worship any of the 12 gods and have a connection to them. A warlock can have a patron from any of the other realms, but The gods themselves cannot come here, with the exception of one.
Who is this one?
Selune.
Shit, could it have been any other one?
Not my favorite.
She is a bitch.
Yeah, we've had some dealings with Selune.
Not dealings as much as she dealt with us. It sucked.
Let's see. Trying to think of some more questions.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't expecting to talk to like some like all-knowing being. Fucking.
So I am the walking lore master. What?
When are they serving in the cafeteria on Wednesday? Shit, I have no questions really. I don't even know. Oh, we should probably ask about the vault.
The what?
His vault?
Oh, we'll get to that later.
Well, should we ask or leave it for him to ask?
I mean, if he brings it up, we'll explain ourselves. If not, then you know.
Oh, you know, he found my animals with the scenting stones at some point. I know he did.
But
our magic walkie-talkies got discovered at some point.
Mm-hmm.
now, Addyman had said something about the realms were coming closer together, and that was causing the issues with the portals and magic and these fluxes and whatever. How is that a thing since Greyhawk himself separated these realms? I mean, how does that happen? And is that what we're dealing with?
Well, the realms are... This realm specifically is still tied to Greyhawk, and the realms are still connected to each other. Much like you've probably seen on the amulet that Sir Thadeus has, the realms are always connected. So even if it's down to just a thin wire that connects them, you can't break the cluster. The cluster's always there. So eventually, what happens is Greyhawk gets pulled more and more back home. And the closer he gets back to Euphrae, the more that weakens the realms, the space between realms. The in-between becomes thinner and thinner, and the realms start to cross over and touch. Unfortunately, if that happens without Greyhawk being able to separate it again, then there's no stopping what could happen from the Nine Hells and the Dreamlands.
Everybody got that? Good!
Now, I've been cautioned about an upcoming war between the old ones spilling forth into this world. And now that kind of makes sense now.
Would that be a War of the Worlds?
Ting.
Yes.
Play weird, angry alien music.
Oh, yeah.
The ominous.
Any UFO sounds I haven't used yet. Has this happened before?
Yeah, several times.
Several times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that those events spawned the story of the Unbridled Wrath and the Curse of Mount Obix.
Yeah, yep, sure did. Yep. I wrote that book. And, yep, that was one of those events. Not as earth-shattering as some of the other ones, you know, the one that brought the end of the Age of Chroniclers or the one that brought the end of the Age of Giants. Those were much more cataclysmic events, but yeah, the power of Mount Obix, yeah.
So
The portal of Mount Obix. The Unbridled Wrath.
The Unbridled Wrath and the portal
of Mount Obix.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Damn it. So this like the main story.
Not
Didn't
like
just-
we've been dicking with that for years.
Yeah.
Didn't just deal with that shit recently or anything.
Yeah. Can we just call it the MacGuffin and just go on with it?
That day in the cave. Never mention it again.
So, what was I going to say? Okay. So many loose threads that this guy could probably tie together, but I've slept since we last played.
I love how you guys always do this, and then you leave and you're like, oh fuck, there was a dozen questions
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
have.
And I'm not there, right?
Right, yeah, you're not here
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
It's not God.
I
He
have
doesn't know what's happening
questions.
right now. He knows it's happening in the past.
So, am I real? was one of these first people. He seemed obsessed with obtaining the scrolls that we had acquired. What can you tell me about these scrolls? And do they play a bigger part in everything going on?
The scrolls themselves do play a big part. They were there during the first cataclysmic break. They were there when Greyhawk separated everything. Actually, they were a part of it. A part of what created the separation. So they're tied to Greyhawk, and they are tied to the realm. As far as am I a real, all of the first people at one point in time decided to take on a place of leadership. And Amaya has been leading Gagme for quite some time. He has, maintained leadership as an elf. Obviously they have the longest life cycle to begin with, but has been able to kind of turn over and recreate himself as the years go. I think with that much time in a leadership position, it starts to corrupt some and get to their head. Even I had issues when I was a leader for a while, and I had to take a step back and pull myself away from wars and the playings of people and leadership, and had to step back so that I could maintain a certain level of sanity and watch after the other first people.
Are there any other notable people of power that are some of the first people?
There are. I don't think you would know any of them right now, though. Yeah.
What of Duché, perhaps?
He is not a first people.
Well, that's gonna be at least not fighting the all-powerful.
He's super powerful, but he's not one of the first people.
All-powerful.
Yeah.
Just very powerful.
Yeah, this Duché is not one of my favorite people, and I will be very pleased to see him put down.
Now, a couple questions I have for you. I hope that I have fulfilled my end of the bargain by allowing you to ask questions first.
Did not know there was a bargain, but yes.
I only have one more, maybe.
I'll answer more questions for you, but I need to know first. I saw an agent of Mananon McClear form for the Reign and instruct McNastly you to do something. What was that?
Just to strike down the dragon.
So the god wanted you to kill the leader of Gagme.
Yes. To be fair, our leader was trying to kill me first.
Oh, I mean, he was mad. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. But Gagme was already being called into question by all of the different events that have been happening around the world. The inability to close the portals, some of the Gagme people going corrupt and heading over to criminal life under Duché, the people going around pretending to be Gagme, stirring up stuff, creating doubts, and then finally one of Gagme's own killing the longtime leader of the guild. There will be no more Gagme after today. You have successfully and single-handedly, well, I guess not single-handedly, but you have successfully
I had a god?
destroyed Gagme. So I don't know what you intend to do after this. I don't know who you report to, but I probably would retire those cloaks if I were you.
Aw, man, do I have to retire my character? This sucks. If you guys hear frantic typing, then it's like building a new character.
Well, from what I've seen within the ranks of Gagme, just like most organizations of man, like you've seen through the years, even the good become corrupted in places of leadership. I think there's hope for the organization as a whole. It just needs a cleansing.
I saw what kind of cleansing could happen after the Age of Chroniclers. When the Chroniclers were overthrown, every single last one of them was executed by the general masses at a global scale. So, while I admire your hope, and maybe you're right, recent events. I mean, I guess that was 2,000 years ago, but somewhat recent events for me. Beg to differ.
Yeah. I can definitely see the prudence in maybe not flashing our gag-me affiliation going forward.
And it gives me a boost to charisma. That's the thing I like.
It's intimidation.
I actually don't know what my boost is.
Yeah, it's intimidation and survival.
My intimidation. My intimidation's a +8. I do like that too.
Yeah.
Survival is shitty. Whatever. It's fine.
Oh, damn. Takes mine to a +10.
Yeah, so my survival is a +1, so it's actually all from the cloak. Oops. Ironic that goat can't survive. Yeah, I would agree with, the ancient being in this one. History speaks. And also, I did the killing, so...
Well, on a grander scale, there's a lot more going on than just the PR of an organization like Gag Me. So, I don't have a terrible issue setting the cloak aside for now.
It'll cloak our shame.
What?
Boo.
Are you looking this shit up?
No, I'm building a new character. I wasn't fucking lying. When I said frantic typing is building a character, it is. I have one already in here, but it's an artificer. I don't know if I want it. I'm going to find a different one.
Do you have more questions of me?
Does the name Malphaedor mean anything to you?
How do you know that name?
I was instructed to seek this person out for the next step of my purpose, was the word used.
Well, do they look like a bitch? No, sorry.
Malphaedor was my student for a long time. Yes, I know Malphaedor.
Like a long time in our long time, or a long time in your long time?
Several hundred years.
Ooh, that is a breadth of experience.
Yeah.
Why would I be told to seek out this person?
I don't know. What was the context?
My patron is of the Nine Hells. And part of that bond is designed to build me up and gear me toward a coming battle with the old ones, and which is why when you were speaking of that conflict, it kind of resonated with me and made sense.
I don't know what Magno would be doing with the old ones or the Nine Hells. Magno serves the many-faced god, the god of death. And that means that when you die, typically the god that you serve, that's what realm you end up going to and serving there after your life here. The many-faced god determines that path for people. So I'm not sure what Magno has. Maybe there is something that Magno can do to redirect you someplace specific, or... Yeah, not positive what you're looking for there.
Is Magno still around?
Yeah, she's around.
Where would I find her?
I haven't seen her in a couple hundred years. So, last I knew, though, she was up near the Blinding Bay.
The Blinding Bay. And, Malphaedor will take a moment as he recalls that Macy was also a worshipper of the many-faced gods. Just as a quick little, yeah. But going back to the scrolls, what would Duché want with these scrolls?
If you put the scrolls together, they become the original book of magic. The book can bring magic to an entire universe. It can enhance magic or change stuff. But what he would probably want to be doing with them is accessing all that knowledge and magic power by himself all at once. Which would, in a place like Euphrey, where there's no Greyhawk walking around and the other gods can't come, would make him pretty godly. Unless Selune came down to put him in check, which I don't know why she would. I think that he would be hard to rival. Maybe at one point, if, when there were thousands of the first people still here, we could have grouped up several hundred of us and taken him down, but there's just not many left.
I'm just out here trying to become a god. This is frustrating.
So I know what Greyhawk did to separate the realms, but where did Greyhawk go?
I only have theories as to where Greyhawk went. My best guess is that he is in the in-between. But the first people can't go into the in-between.
Why not?
We've gone in there a couple times, and bad things happen to us. We are very, very powerful, and we have this knack for attracting very, very evil entities that want to drain our power. It's like a food source to them.
You mean the Beholders?
Yeah, those are some of them. There are other creatures there.
Yeah, we just encountered some of those not too long ago.
Yeah, they are not, they're not fun.
Yeah, we had to rescue a friend of ours who was trapped in the in-between.
What path did you take to get there?
There was what was the name of the place?
Mount Obix?
Yeah, we went through the portal at Mount Obix.
Oh.
It was the only real lead we had from your book.
Yeah, it's not too far from my tavern.
Your tavern.
Right there in the valley, right below Mount Obix.
Did we catch who that was that had the tavern?
We didn't go to a tavern. We went to the head Teflon Knight's house, and we stayed there. Then we went and talked to Addie Min, and she told us that she knew who.
Addie Min dropped his name as
but she
one
couldn't.
of the ones who went in and was able to get back out, right?
No, she dropped his name, but she said that she is sworn to secrecy. She couldn't talk about him. And she mentioned Vartan, but...
Oh, she also mentioned Cody.
And... Yeah, that's the same guy.
And, yeah.
So she mentioned his name, but she couldn't... She said she wasn't able to speak about him.
So we could have met this guy
She
fucking
was sworn to secrecy.
so long ago.
So, in the events of your book, obviously it was a thinning of that barrier between the realms. And I'm assuming that there was undesirable things happening as a consequence. How did the hero of the book stop it?
I believe you have someone researching that for you right now, right?
We've had several people looking into it.
What I have put in that book is all I am allowed to say.
All you're allowed to say?
Yeah. Yep.
There's someone strong enough to muzzle you?
Yep.
The gods. These nasty fucking gods.
What can you tell us of this Vartan fellow?
The hero of Eterno?
Yes.
He helped close that portal. I mean, he's just a guy. He, obviously the stories end up making him into this incredibly amazing hero, which he was pretty amazing. But, when he was along his path, he had just as many obstacles and just as many hurdles to overcome, and it was just as confusing for him then as it is for you now.
Now, obviously you were around at that time. Did you aid him?
As much as I could.
So would you have any suggestions for us on how to help this realm get back to a state of stability?
Well, I don't want to sound offensive, but you're not the broken one or the lost one or the stable one. I can tell that just by looking at you. So
those are things that Terry talked about. We've heard those phrases. What is all that about?
Terry, I believe, is the broken one.
Terry is the broken one.
If you know those people, then go aid them. That's the best way you can aid the kingdom, or the realm.
What does all that mean?
That is for them to figure out. I'm sorry.
The sniveling werewolves are the fucking keys to the realm.
The little werecore keys.
They're werewolves. That's new.
Sort of.
What I can say is that those souls are always there. So even if the body was to be destroyed, there is still the potential that those souls can stop the merging of the realms.
So you said there was 3: the broken one, the stable one,
And the lost one.
the lost one.
Yep.
I haven't heard that one yet.
That's the sister or whatever. Or the woman?
No.
Or is that Tim?
No,
probably?
she's the stable one.
No, it's Tim is the lost one.
So Terry's the broken one. The sister's the stable one, but we haven't. That's metagame. We haven't met her yet.
Or have we? No.
No. That was in the NPC interludes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard it, right?
He most certainly did not.
I do good.
Do you know the whereabouts of our companion, Sir Thadeus? The wizard that was with us.
Yeah, he was running an errand, but by the time we're done here, he'll be back in Cheddar.
In Cheddar.
Well, that's probably not good. Being, the leader's dead.
Yeah.
So we should
Well,
probably attend to that.
Well, I want to go talk to Chuck and see where his head's
I'm sure Chuck would love to talk to us.
at. Yeah. So, do you have any other questions or insights for us?
I would say that out of all of the ages and all of the catastrophic events, no one has had as much of a direct connection to gods as you 3.
Well, let's see. Dionysus, Selune. What's his name? That just helped us. Manamaclear. Technically speaking, we saw a brief glimpse of the not the many-faced god,
Cthulhu's realm.
Cthulhu's realm,
but we don't
not
remember
him
that.
himself as death. Yeah, this is kind of meta. But 4. Is there any other ones?
And whatever dark evil booger I'm carrying around with me.
Yeah,
I haven't figured that one out yet.
Well, you've got a connection to Zariel out of the 9 Hells.
Well, yeah, but there's something else there. That's what I'm concerned about.
I was just adding Zariel to that list.
Yeah, so there's technically 5 main ones, and then whatever the hell's going on with you. So potentially 6 gods in play with just our little
that's half of them.
Group of assholes.
Half of the 12.
And apparently we have to have something to do with another one of them, because a many-faced god is at play here.
Thorkillin. Why would Manon and McLear want Amariel dead?
I don't know. That is interesting. That's why I was questioning you, actually. The reason I note that about the gods is because I don't think the gods have ever gotten this close before. not since the death of the old gods. So it leads me to believe that this is the closest the realms have ever been to a crossover. And I think they might be making a play for Greyhawk's realm.
It's a possibility. With Greyhawk gone, it leaves a power vacuum.
Selune has no interest in running this realm, which is probably why Greyhawk left her access to be able to come and go as she saw fit. But many of the other gods, I mean, Cthulhu, I'm sure, would love to. You know, Bane would love to run this realm. I mean, I don't see why Mananon wouldn't. This world is covered in oceans.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Plenty to think about. So where do we go from here?
I can take you back to Cheddar if you want.
Probably be prudent. How can we get a hold of you in the future?
Ascending stone, perhaps.
Give me your digits.
I mean,
Give me them numbers, girl.
I'm kind of bouncing around a lot right now, so I don't know how you'd track me down. I'm
Heard that one asking for a number before.
doing a lot of things recently. I'll give you the sending stone that you can contact me with, but it'll only work when I'm in the same realm as you. So if I'm in other realms and you message me, I might not be able to answer. But here you go.
Okay, so now we got Thorkillin on speed dial. Can you think of anything else we need to run by him?
No. 'Cause I couldn't think of it earlier.
Yes.
I know. I know. Why aren't you here, damn it? No, you gotta go be an agent of a god somewhere. So I guess we'll be heading back to Cheddar now.
Okay.
I want to thank you for the honor of witnessing the funeral of Amariel.
Yeah, I'm sorry he turned on you the way he did. I promised you he was a good man at one point. One of the best men I knew. It's sad to see someone go down this path.
Especially as a fucking blue dragon. God, I hate blue dragons. Why is it always blue dragons?
He says, well, if you guys are ever back near Mount Obix, and I'm around, which hopefully it'll be, after all this stuff calms down, pop by the Last Stop Tavern. That's my place. Be happy to serve you a couple rounds.
Sounds good.
All right. And he throws up his hand, and a portal comes to life right in front of you. And he says, please make yourself
Scarce?
scarce.
Yep.
Kindly.
Farewell.
Fuck off.
And I walk through the portal.
Okay. So you two walk through the portal, and it leaves you on the street of, on the main street right in front of the Gagme barracks. Honestly, Malphaedor, it's, same view you had when you very first arrived to this Gagme barracks. There's a couple wagons right to your left. Some students are pulling out chests, and they are walking up into the barracks right now to begin their own trials for Gagme. Very reminiscent of your entry into this location. And yeah, you guys make your way inside. And I would assume to Chuck's office.
Absolutely.
And just as you're coming around, you see Sir Thadeus coming down the stairs from the rooms upstairs, heading down toward Chuck's office as well.
Thaddeus!
Hey, where'd you guys go?
Where did you go?
Dionysus plucked me from the battle of the bards, and I had to fulfill a promise that I made to him that I didn't remember making.
Okay, good to know.
What happened
We went to...
after I disappeared?
Imira Questlinger showed up as a huge blue dragon.
Awesome. I bet those three
demanded the
idiots
scrolls and tried to kill us all.
So I killed it.
But he tried to kill you guys too?
Yes. Yeah. He flipped somewhere.
And the goat killed the dragon.
With the help of a god.
There was more players involved there.
Ah, I got last hit. I have its soul.
You have the soul
I have its soul.
Yeah, show him the
of Questslinger in your
scimitar.
sword.
I will raise my scimitar up and show that there
It's
is
that last
a,
little blinky light there on the end.
show that it has its fifth charge.
Let me hop in real quick. Really surprised you guys didn't ask him what the sword did when you hit all 9 souls.
Was it his sword? Oh, I did steal it from him, didn't I? No, I didn't. What did I steal?
No,
Oh
you
no, I stole it from the shop in the city.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he would have known.
We didn't know that.
I want a surprise. It's gonna be something good. You don't get to kill 9 things and all of a sudden, 10th thing, guess what? Dead. That would be some bullshit.
Theoretically, those souls could power some kind of doomsday device.
I think good. Good, fuck it. I saved the world 9 times beforehand.
Maybe the sword will cut through space and let Cthulhu's minions in. You don't
Or
know.
it could cut Cthulhu in half.
Or that.
It could be. This could be the Demon Slayer sword, dude. Who fucking knows? Let's find out.
Until it's full, we have no way of knowing.
It could power up and turn into a sort of old one slaying.
Yeah. I need 4 more souls, and we'll find out real quick. And I feel like the opportunity is coming.
Yeah, there's nothing about us that says we're cautious about the way we do shit.
No, I get that.
Nick
Unless,
just
of
shaking his
course.
head. You fuckers.
All right, so Questslinger's dead.
Yeah,
Who's running Gag Me?
well, there's more. After the death of the dragon, Thorkillin himself shows up to claim the body of Emma-Riel, who turns out to be one of the first people. And we followed him to witness that funeral and have a small chat, ask him a few questions.
Did you find out any information about his sword?
Nope, didn't think about it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Not bad. Your bad.
It's a sword subject.
What about, did he give you any more information on the hero and how he closed the portals?
He was very tight-lipped about several aspects of that story.
Yeah.
But he did mention that there were 3 main players in that scenario, which he called the Lost One, the Broken One, who we've heard Terry say he was the Broken One.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had mentioned that he found the Stable One. That was the 3rd one. I don't know who that is.
But he wouldn't tell you who they were?
But he suggested that if we know who those 3 people are and aid them, that would be very profitable to us figuring out what to do and how to fix this whole clusterfuckery.
Okay, so we stick close to Terry until we find the other 2?
I would think.
Guess who's going on an adventure?
But he was also pretty cautious about the state of Gagme with all the bad PR that's been getting lately. He thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of go on the low as far as being a Gagme member.
Yeah. Well, Gagme's has had PR problems in the past. That's not...
Yeah. And honestly, I'm kind of the opinion that, if I'm a member of Gagme or not, there's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Titles change, powers shift.
Being a member of Gagme definitely opens doors that might not be open otherwise.
Yeah, but if those doors are slammed shut because of being a member of Gagme, then that's not beneficial. He also gave me some insight into my own path, and I think I mentioned Magno odd to you?
The name's familiar.
In my conversation with when I communed with Zariel, she had dropped that name to me and told me to seek her out for the next step in my path. I questioned Thorkillin about it, and he thought that maybe she was around the Blinding Bay, wherever that is. I'll have to check a map.
Blinding. Is that anywhere that Thaddeus has been before?
Nope.
No? Okay. I've not heard of the Blinding Bay.
It is the far northwestern corner of the map.
Oh, yeah, I definitely haven't been up
Way
there.
the fuck up there.
Yep.
I've not been to the Blinding Bay. Never been that far north.
But this Magno Odd used to be a student of Thorkillin. So I'm not sure exactly how she plays into the scene, but it's definitely something I want to pursue.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's our next destination then, unless we've got anything else. I think we should keep Terry with us.
Yeah. He did kind of give me an overview of what's happening and why everything is being so strange with magic and the realms. Where the 13 realms used to be touching, and the gods could come and go as they pleased. But then a war broke out between the Nine Hells and the Dreamlands for dominance. And in order to quell that conflict, Greyhawk separated the realms by the in-between. But as a consequence of that, somewhere Greyhawk went missing. I'm not sure where he went or why he disappeared. But
So now we have to find Greyhawk too.
Put him on a milk carton or something. I don't know.
Have you seen me?
Is Chuck around?
Yeah, he should be in his office. I was heading there now to see if he had heard from you.
Great.
So I guess we can go talk to him and see what where we go from here. If what Thorkillin said is true and Gagme is finished, do we even really need to check in with Chuck? Or
I'm more confident of Chuck than I am in a lot of other members of Gagme.
To be fair, I did kill the leader of Gagme, so we should be
So does that make you the leader now?
I hope.
Is that
one,
how Gagme
that'd be
works?
dope.
Oh, God.
Two,
Definitely putting the cloak down.
two, the reception might be lukewarm at best. Just be prepared for that outcome.
All right. Well, let's go talk to Chuck then.
All right, so you knock on the door of Chuck's office. Chuck opens up the door, and he says,
Immediately stabs McNastly.
McNastly, I've heard rumors that you killed Am I a Real Questlinger? What are you doing here?
I'll say we did, and escort McNastly into the room to have a sit down with Chuck.
In self-defense, he attacked me first. Out of the blue, as a blue dragon. I didn't start this. That's why I'm here.
Okay, well, I'm really sorry to have to do this, but you all three are under arrest.
I wasn't even there. I was teleported away.
All right, well, I'll still have to detain you to corroborate the story, but for right now, you all three are under arrest by Gagme law.
This concludes this episode of A Fool's Quest. Join us next time for more fun and daring adventure. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, review, and comment on your favorite platform to listen to A Fool's Quest.
there anything about the scrolls we should ask?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Like,
You're not getting in your mic at all, dude.
No.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, cool.
This is metagaming. I'm being an asshole.
All right.
So
Also, itching my beard directly in the mic, so that's just for you.
Yeah, the scratching is
Yeah.
showing up more than your actual words. Some of the Gag Me people going corrupt and heading over to criminal life under Duché.
Oh, we won't be able to hit the microphones.
I don't know
Oh,
how
no,
you guys
no.
do this. It's fucking magic.
Oh, the microphones are off the stand. We won't hit them at all. Fucking punts it.
yeet. So I guess we'll be heading back to Cheddar now.
Okay.
I would thank you for the opportunity to share in the burial of the funeral of this first piece of Mario. Edit that shit.
One more time. You want to take that from the top?
Yeah.
Try that again.
I want to thank you for the honor of witnessing the funeral of Mario.